Hello, and welcome to Tutor Talk. The habit discussed in this presentation is listening with understanding and empathy. The attributes that describe this habit of mind include caring, attention, and respect. The idea is to care about what other people say, to pay attention to what is said, and to be respectful by actively paying attention. As many people say, it is better to listen than to wait for one's turn to speak. The important quality to understand is the idea of listening. Humans want attention. It is a way to communicate. Everyone has something to say, whether it be the cure to a disease or illness, or what one ate for lunch that afternoon. However, because today's age is so technologically advanced, people no longer truly pay attention when interacting. Some are on their phones or other devices instead of having a conversation with those around them. This is why listening and understanding with empathy is an important habit. Listening to another person fully shows them that they care and that what they have to say is important. This increases interaction through better communication. Better communication is something that is needed in everyday interactions. It can help you at school, on a project with others, work, and with friends. Furthermore, to better understand this habit, we must know the difference between active and passive listening. Passive listening is hearing without understanding the meaning behind the words. Active listening is responding to received information through feedback. So, why is active listening important? It is important because it allows the listener to better understand assignments and what is expected of you. It shows support to your fellow classmates. It lets you work better in a group setting. It allows you to answer questions more effectively, and it supplies the ability to paraphrase another person's ideas. So, what is good listening? If we break down the word listening, we get an understanding. There are many ways to be a good listener, but use these tips when listening. L. Look interested, get interested. I. Involve yourself by responding. S. Stay on target. T. Test your understanding. E. Evaluate your message. And N. Neutralize your feelings. However, being a good listener can have its obstacles. Effective communication can be difficult to engage in at times because words have different meanings for different people, people often code their messages, people frequently beat around the bush, the speaker might be blinded by their emotions, the listeners are easily distracted, or the listeners hear through filters that distort much of what is being said. As a student, feedback is very important. Whether working on a speech, a PowerPoint presentation, or a paper, receiving feedback is good, for it offers a way to improve on one's skills and attributes. Effective communication allows for feedback to be given in a concise and active manner. Like the habit of mind applying past knowledge to new situations, listening and understanding with empathy is very effective in the acquisition and application of receiving feedback. This includes constructive criticism, such as giving positive feedback when peer editing someone's English essay. Always remember that there are places where you can get constructive feedback. These places include the Writing Center, your roommate, a friend, a family member, your professor, a classmate, and even yourself. In order to apply feedback with listening with understanding and empathy, one needs to practice strategies for more effective communication. The first strategy is describing behavior. Sometimes, something as simple as describing what someone is doing during conversation is a good way to show the reader that you have been listening. For example, telling someone, "When you told me you felt hurt, you looked away." This will give the speaker a greater sense of effective communication because it shows them that the listener is actively listening. Another strategy to use is listening comments. Make sure to keep the flow of the conversation going. Something as simple as saying, "Oh, wow, I see," between lapses of speaking really goes a long way. It keeps a flow that shows the speaker that you are listening. There is also clarifying. Ask the speaker to clarify their points. Say something like, "Tell me more about that," or "What do you mean?" Silence is another strategy that can be used. Pausing, nodding, and saying nothing shows understanding with eye contact. It is a good listening skill that makes the speaker feel like they are being listened to. Finally, utilize nonverbal listening when using listening with understanding and empathy. Face the person you are talking to. Look someone in the eye with understanding. These simple behaviors reassert that you are actively listening and will help them through the entire feedback process. It is a good way to get the speaker to listen and effectively communicate with the listener. In this way, feedback will be received much more smoothly. And there you have it. Listening with understanding and empathy is a good habit of mind to utilize when actively listening to another person. Please take these strategies and please use them correctly, for they can go a long way in the educational process.